What's up, good people? Hot Tub Chronicles, Season 3, Episode 4. What's going on? Just wanted to say hi to everybody. I've been going through some things lately these past couple weeks, so time to tell it all. Don't tell me what to do. Everybody has an opinion about you. Everybody gonna have an opinion about you. And another thing, you can't please everybody. Stop trying to please everybody, because everybody's going to try to tell you how to live your life. But you're the only one that's going to lay your head on the pillow and hear your thoughts running through your head. They're going to tell you how to live your life through religion. They're going to try to tell you how to live your life through social media. They're going to try to tell you how to live your life on your job. They're going to try to tell you how to live your life at home. They ain't never stepped foot in your home. They're going to try to tell you how to live your life on the street. No matter what, somebody always going to keep trying to tell you what to do. Don't let them. You got to live your own life. This junk going crazy, man. Everybody is in everybody's business and think they know everything. You don't know everybody. You don't know everybody's life. You think you know everybody because of social media. People think they know me and know my life and know my marriage because of the things I put on social media. That's the craziest thing, and they never talk to me personally. That's the craziest thing to ever think of. You think you know me because of my posts. You think you can tell me how to act because of my posts. You think my posts are about my marriage. Y'all crazy. You think I'm going to put my business on social media so everybody can know what's going on in my life? Or try to infiltrate my life? This is crazy. You don't know me because what I put on social media or because of a certain post. Some of them have some truth to it. Some of them is totally fictitious. Some of it is totally humor. Some of it's totally serious that has humor in it. But don't judge me by what you think that I put on social media. Don't think you know me because what you think I put on social media. And don't think you got access to my life because what I put on social media. Y'all crazy. You think you can actually tell me what to do and I'm the one living my own life. I'm the one trying to pay my own bills. I'm the one here doing the best that I can trying to support for my family. And you think you can tell me what to do. This is crazy. I'm not saying we don't respect our elders. I'm not saying we don't respect certain people. Because it says don't move ancient marks out of the way because you move a foundation and then the whole house falls. So I'm not saying don't respect your elders. Definitely not saying that. Everybody has a call to where you're supposed to reach certain people. Everybody's not called to reach people that I'm called to reach. Everybody's not called to talk to the circle that I'm called to minister in. You don't know. You don't know who I'm called to talk to. You don't know what I do in private. I don't put my ministerial life in the public eye of what I do. How many people we helped get off of drugs? How many people that we fed? How many people that we got housing? How many people that we took to shelters? Or how many people that we took to drug rehab centers? You don't know me. So you can't tell me what I do in my ministry. You don't know how many people that we touched. You don't know how many people that slept on my couch, that lived in my house. You don't know that because I don't publicize it. That's not for us to put out there all the time. Now, there's certain things when we ask for donations, or there's certain things when we ask for help, when we're trying to, meet the need of hundreds of people that we can't do out of our pocket. Then we will ask for certain things, or we will put certain things out there, but we don't publicize it, or we don't put people on blast. So all these things that when you're trying to do certain things that you are called to do, that everybody's not called to climb the mountain that you're called to climb. Everybody's not called to drive the car that you're called to drive. Everybody's not called to walk in the shoes that you're called to walk in. I got big feet. Everybody's not called to walk in my feet, but somebody else got bigger feet than me. Somebody else got bigger feet than me, that they walk in bigger shoes than I walk in. So stop letting people try to rule your life by what they see on social media or what they think that they know about you from social media. So all these things that I do, all these things that I post, some things for humor, something is for enlightenment, something is for information purposes only. But you might take one thing that I post and you'll take it out of line. One thing and you'll take it out of line. And you'll take it totally out of context. But you won't look at the other 100 things that I look at, that I post. You won't take the other 100 things. You'll just take that one thing. Or you won't read the full thing. Or you won't watch the full video. You'll just take the one thing and think that you know somebody because what somebody puts online. If you keep trying to live your life by everybody else's standards, you'll never reach the standard that God called you to reach. You'll never reach the purpose that God called you to reach. You'll never walk in your victory. You'll never walk in your purpose. And you know I ain't the one for cliches. You know I ain't the one that's going to try to get an amen. You know I ain't the one that's going to try to get everybody on my side. Because everybody knows me. I don't like a lot of things. And I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like. I'm a straight shooter. I wear my feelings on my sleeve. So I ain't going to try to tell everybody what to do. I don't try to tell people what to do. I post information. If you like it, fine. If you don't like it, fine. But don't force your opinions and don't force your things on me. Don't force your ideologies on me. Don't force the things that maybe I've learned longer than me. And a lot of things in religion, everybody's trying to fit their ideology in a 6,000 year religion, which we know as the Bible. You're trying to fit everything in that little box, and the box is bigger than that. Because we know people that go back 20,000 years. We got family members that go back over 20,000 years that can trace their history. So how are you fitting this same ideology that we were taught and brainwashed into a 6,000 year window? It don't add up. So a lot of people get on me because I might expose or I might say certain things about these prophet-lying people that be on TV, and they say certain things that the information that they're putting out is old information, that new information has come out being proven through archaeology or other sources. So we got to get out the way of our own self. We got to lace up our own shoes. We got to lace up our own bootstraps. We got to lace up our own things that we're doing in life and walk in our own shoes. Now, yeah, we're going to have people that walk on that path along the way. But the path that you call to walk on, some people might walk on it for a mile. Some people might be there just to give you a drink of water, like you see the marathons runners running, and they just stop along the way and they have like water breaks. And the people hand them and they snatch a glass of water. That might be some people in your life. Some people might be called to pace you. Like when you have these people running the mile, and you got these runners that run a quarter mile with you to pace you so you stay on pace. But they don't run the whole four mile. They don't run the whole mile with you. They don't run the whole 4 laps with you. Everybody's not called to run your race. Everybody's not called to your purpose. Everybody's not even called to be in your vision. What did God tell you in your own prayer closet? What did he tell you? They wasn't there when you was on your knees talking to the Most High. They wasn't there. But you was. You know what God whispered in your ear. You know what you felt in your heart, or what God told you to do. You know what he told you. But you trying to live the life from everybody else's standards and trying to measure up. And your measuring stick don't measure like everybody else's measuring stick. My mile is not everybody else's mile. Some people are called to walk a mile. Some people are called to run a mile. Some people are called to drive a mile. But it's the same mile. The distance doesn't change. The ending does not change. But how you got there does. Stop letting people dictate your life and dictate your purpose. You're never going to get nowhere. You're never going to start that college and start your first class. I know people that started class at 40 years old and they're getting their degrees at 44 years old. But if they had to listen to other people, they never would have took that first class. I know people that I've specifically told to just register in one class. Now they got their master's. Now they got their doctorate. It started out with one class. But I don't have a masterate. I don't have a doctorate. I know people that wrote a book on marriage. They are no longer together. But the knowledge in that book is irreplaceable. It's invaluable. You can't put a price on it. You can't put a price on it. But those two people are not together anymore, and they wrote a book. But that knowledge I still obtain to this day. And I use those values to live my life the way I'm living now. Absolutely, I'm not perfect. Never said I was. Never said I ever will be. I'm striving. I got my faults. I have my ways. But you think I'm going to open my doors and open my borders and not be a watcher on my wall and going to open my gate to let you in so you can kick my back in like I have done before? People kick my back in and don't know the story, don't know the testimony, don't know the life, don't know the reason, don't know the reason why certain relationships have been severed the way they are. They don't know the whole story. There's two sides to every story. Two sides to every story. Actually, three sides. Their side, our side, and the truth. So stop letting people dictate how you live your life. I always say, stop letting people put your round self into a square hole. It doesn't fit. It don't fit. And you're bruising yourself trying to fit in everybody else's square hole. It doesn't fit. You're cutting yourself short because now you're trying to cut your sides off. Trying to fit into a square hole in your round. You're called to fit into a round hole, not square. But everybody else is square running this race trying to fit you into their hole. And it don't fit. Stop it. Stop it. This ain't something that I'm bashing against somebody of what somebody said. I'm just saying a lot of people try to dictate to me all the time. Hey, you're this type of person. Hey, you're called to do this. Everybody's not called to do the same thing everybody else is called to do. I know who I've helped. I know the track record that I have of the people that I help and that are still in my life to this day, that still come back to me 5, 10, 15, 20 years later. They still come back to me. Still come back to me and say, thank you, my brother. I remember when you was on Lake Ave and you were handing out sandwiches and you were handing out juice boxes and you were handing out apples and oranges. I remember when you were standing out there in 100-degree heat in the suit. And I heard you from down the street because your speaker was echoing. And I was like, where did that come from? And he pulled up on a bike and said, I appreciate you. Turned his life around, got him into a program. That man is making over $120,000 right now. He's a mason right now. A manager or a foreman on in a construction company right now. Brother was strung out on drugs. Not even strung out, but addicted, I would say. And he needed some adjustment in his life. And it took one man just to stand up and not toot my own horn, because I'm not doing that. I'm just saying you never know where your voice carries. Everybody was just running up, grabbing the food off the table. And I go into the car, put another bag of food up. And I had to tell some people, like, look, bro, you just had some. Save some for somebody else. If there's enough, you can come back in a couple minutes. Because I'm only going to be out here for about 15 minutes because it's 100 degrees out here. And I'm dying in the suit. Had suits and shirts fade. The ink was fading out of my suit and shirts because it was so hot. But I was called to go out there that day. And I was able to reach one person. Doesn't it say in our word? He left the 99 to go get the one. Doesn't it say that? Is that one sheep more valuable than the 99 that's in the pen? Those 99 sheep that's in the pen are already in safety. But is it worth it to go out of your way to go get that one person who you think that's not worth it of going to save? Going to save that one person. Is that one person worth it? You leave the 99 to go get the one. Is that crackhead worth it? Is that drunkard worth it? Is that person that's hard to deal with worth it? Is that one that has an attitude? Is that person worth it? Is that one that you have to drive an hour to? Is that person worth it? Is that person worth it that you have to get up a half hour early to take him to work or her to work? Is it worth it? And then 30 days later, that person has enough to get insurance that they can put insurance on your car. You had the money to give them money for insurance, but you wanted to teach them the value of $1. When you work, I can give a man fish all day. But when you give that man a pole And then he keeps fishing for himself. He can feed himself and he can feed his family. And then in turn, he can go teach another person how to fish. So some people do need that head start. Some people do need a handout. Some people do need a push in the back. Some people do need to be pushed off the cliff. But is it you that's going to be the one that's going to sacrifice yourself? Who's the one that's going to sacrifice themselves for this generation? Everybody want to talk about the Malcolm X's and the Martin Luther Kings, but are you willing to take a bullet? Are you really willing to take a bullet for your neighborhood? Everybody cries, stop the violence. But are you willing to walk down the streets of the neighborhood and tell that brother, like, look, brother, it's another way. Look, brother, God loves you. Look, brother, you don't have to do this. Look, brother, if I can help you get a job, will you stop selling these drugs? Huh? Are you that person that can do that? So don't tell me, are you the one that's willing to get arrested on the streets of Trenton and on the steps of Washington? And then not toot my own horn, but this is what happens. Sometimes you got to go that extra mile to do that, to get laws passed, to help your brothers and sisters. Because what do you see in your community? There's no wealth being transferred because there's no family values. And we're trying to do it by ourselves. The family core, the core of the family is broken. The core values are broken and they're lost. They're broken and they're lost. It's easier to raise kids with two people in a home. But we're trying to do it by ourselves. But the way we got to that way, we picked the wrong person in the first place. Did we vet the right person? Did we ask the right questions? So you telling me this brother that you knew was on the street, you didn't think he was going to be a good, you telling me you didn't know that this brother, if he got you pregnant, he wasn't going to be a good father? You telling me that this chick that already has a track record of doing certain things, you telling me you thought that she was going to be the best mother of your kids? That was your best choice, my brother? See, a lot of people don't like me because I talk about both sides of the coin. I lay accountability to men and women. I don't talk about both sides. I hold my brothers accountable and I hold my sisters accountable. Both sides. But we don't like accountability. We don't like accountability. And it's correction. In Psalms, it says his rod and his staff is a comfort. Everybody likes the guidance. Everybody likes the staff, but nobody likes the rod of correction. Nobody likes the discipline. It said the Lord chastens those that he loves. Are you a son of God? You one of the sons of God? Is he chastening you? Or did he take his hand off of you? There's a difference. Is he disciplining you? Or do you have a reprobate mind and you doing what you feel like doing? It says the Lord chastens those that he loves. And sometimes he has to treat you like a prodigal son or a daughter. He has to let you leave in order for you to experience life and see that there's nothing out there and then come back to him. Are you that one that he had to take his hand off of you and let you go? He says sometimes it's better that the body dies, but he saves your soul. Don't let the body perish. Save your soul and your body. Live this life. Make heaven on earth right here. But we too busy trying to live our life the way others want us to live our life. So people think that they know me. People think that they can read me. I'm the worst person to read because you'll never know when I'm really mad. You'll never know when I'm really upset. You'll never know when I'm sad. You'll never know when I'm stressed out. There might be times when that people that are close to me might be able to see certain things. But do you have a therapeutic escape in your life that you can go to? Is there a time that you can go to your father and talk to him? Is there a time that you can go away to your own prayer closet and talk to the Father? Is there a time that you can go away just to take a breath, a deep breath? What is your hot tub moment? I'm blessed. I thank God that I have a hot tub moment, that I can have Hot Tub Chronicles, that I can go away sometime. There's nights that I come here every single night and I'm out here and I don't get on camera and do these things. There's nights that I don't come out here, but there's nights that I feel led to say certain things. So I'm not one of them type of people that we all have to have some type of an escape in our life. But I'm not one of those type of people that you can just push around and try to just throw words at me and tell me what to do. Oh, brother, this is your standard. How do you know what my standard is? How do you know what I went through in my life? How do you know what my testimony is? How do you know what God told me when I was sleeping in my car, when I had to go sleep under the piers on the beach? How did you know when I was too ashamed to go to my family and let them know that I was homeless? How did you know, and where was you at when I was by myself? Sleeping in my car when it was freezing. Where was you at? See, these are the things that people don't know about me. But the Lord allowed me to bounce back. But where was you so you can try to tell me where I was at in my lifetime? Where I was at in my lifetime, you telling me you can tell me where I was at so you can tell me what to do. You can tell me what to post. You can tell me what to say. There's times when I'm behind a pulpit that I will say certain things. There are times when I'm in a homeless shelter that I will say certain things. There are times when I'm on the street that I will say certain things. There are times when I'm in a rehab center that I will say certain things. I know what hat to put on at certain times. What's up, my brother? My Fruit Roll brother, my Tinton Falls brother? Yes, you are inspiration to me, Rich. I love you, my brother. So these are times that I look up to my elders. We just had our family reunion to where we honored our elders. We honored our elders this year. And it was a Johnson Edmund reunion this year. So we honored our elders. And we let them know that who were the matriarchs and the patriarchs of the family now. I'm at that age that I'm in my 50s. What's up, Dad? So I'm at that age where we had to honor our elders and let the younger generation know that this is how we got here. But we also have to live our own life. We also have to walk our own path. Who was with me when I got divorced? My first marriage. Who was there? Who knew the reason why? Who knows that story? Who knows that testimony? See, these are the things that comes out in my messages sometimes. That the reason why I tell people that that a lot of times we pick the wrong person. And we don't want to take accountability because we picked the wrong person. And she was a beautiful person, a beautiful woman. I wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. Certain things that went crazy. But nobody still knows the full story of that whole thing. But I saved people's honor by not exposing it. To this day, I never said anything bad about that person. Never. And I got mad rocks to throw. But I live in a glass house also because they can throw them rocks right back to me. They can throw them right back and bust my windows out my house. But we have our own path, our own destiny. Nobody knows the discipline that I went through to get my life back on track. It's a miracle now that I'm sitting in this hot tub, owning a house, supporting my family. It's a miracle. I'm a living miracle because I know where I came from. And there's people out there right now that we talk to every weekend on Saturdays that we go out there and feed chili, chicken, and fruit and give clothes to that live in tents, that live under tarps with branches that hold them up. And they sleep in the mud. And we give them used shoes and sometimes brand new shoes and jeans. And that's a diamond for them. Those people hug us and cry on us and say, my brother, we thank you for coming out here every day, no matter how cold it is, no matter how hot it is. See, a lot of people don't understand you can have church right outside. Yes, Dad, we do. Yes, we do the same thing. Nobody knows. So nobody knows the battles that you went through and the hills that you had to climb. Sometimes the Lord pushes you out of your comfort zone. They push you right out of your comfort zone. There was a time when the Israelites, when they came out of Egypt and Moses led them to the mountain and they were hanging around the mountain. Once they got all the 10 Commandments and they got all the laws of God, They stayed around the mountain. And the Lord came and said, look, y'all been around this mountain too long. It's time for y'all to leave. Their first battle was Jericho. The biggest city there was. They had to overcome a big giant city. Their first battle. And they had to cross a river that was raging. And he told them, once you stick your foot in the water, the river's going to stop moving and you'll be able to cross the Jordan. But you got to have faith first to step your foot in the water. Nobody wants to be that first Martin Luther King. Nobody wants to be that Rosa Parks that sat their tail down. Nobody wants to be that Malcolm X that was trying to bring nations together. No matter what religion that we was living in, and no matter what religion we was believing in. Are you the one that's going to say something so your sons and your daughters and your grandchildren can live a better life? Is it you? Is it you? This is the whole dilemma. The whole dilemma that we talk about. Are you going to be the one? Are you going to be the one? Are you going to be the next police chief? Are you going to be the next governor? Are you going to be the next mayor? Are you going to be the next doctor? Are you going to be the next lawyer? No matter what your avenue is, run your race and stick to your path. I'm not saying don't take guidance from your elders, because your elders are the one that guide you along the way. But sometimes you got to live your life. My father once told me, and I think he said these are the words that Abraham Lincoln, I'm not sure. But he says, if you listen to the advice of others, you're going to make the same mistake that they made. So he said, I'd rather make my own mistake and learn from it than walk in the same path that you know that you're going to twist your ankle on. He twisted, if I'm teaching my son how to drive and I know there's a big pothole on Highway 35, I'm going to say, look, right here, right before you get before McDonald's, get into the left lane because there's a pothole and you're going to tear the car up, son. Or Dad, I took driving lessons. I know what I'm doing. Bro, son, you got your permit. You don't even have your license yet. Get in the left lane because there's a pothole coming. Or Dad, I know what I'm doing. All right, bro. Boop, boop, boop. Tear the car up. Son, I told you to get in the left lane. Well, Dad, I didn't know there was a pothole. But your elder was telling you that there was a pothole there. So there's certain times where you have to listen to your elders, but then there's certain times where the elders have to let go of the leash and let them make their own mistakes to learn from them. This is how we grow men. I remember I was teaching my son how to be a man, and I told him, my wife will always run to the door when I told him to take the garbage out, and she would hear me. She would run downstairs, take the garbage out the bag it up and put it in the front, and put it by the door, and then he would walk, and then she would watch him go to the thing. I used to take the garbage, put it back in the can, turn the light out, block her way, and I said, let him do it himself. How was he ever going to learn how to stand on his own 2 feet? Now he's doing pretty well and he's independent. But he had to learn and make some mistakes on his own. Still making mistakes. Gave him some advice, he didn't listen. Still making mistakes. But on the most part, he's doing the best that he can. This is how we have to teach our young men and young women. It's not letting them fall in the pit, but sometimes you might have to let them fall, and then you have to put a Band-Aid over it when they fall. We have to do these things sometime. But everybody has their own calling. So in relationships, do we ask the right questions? Yo, how did you love your mother? Or how did your mother love you? How did your father love you? What was you doing? What are you doing right now? What are you doing to better yourself? How are you going to love me? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? How do you think you're going to be in 5 years? Me and my wife, we change every year. But our commitment to each other is the thing that keeps us together. We love each other, but it's the purpose that we have with each other that keeps us together. Love alone don't keep us together. I love my wife to death, but there's some time I want to throw her out the window. Hey, babe, look out the window real quick and just dump her outside. And there's some days she want to do the same thing. She want to do the same thing to me. But the thing that keeps us together is the commitment and the covenant that we made. And we made promises to each other to do the best we can to not break them. We broke some promises, But for the most part, do the best you can not to break a lot of them. Stop laughing at me, Deb. And a lot of times it takes circumstances to stay together. It takes circumstances to stay together. And we argued and argued and argued. But once we got over that mountain, we was like, man, if we had broke up, we would have been messed up. It was better for us to stay together and work through that rough patch, to dig all them weeds out of our garden. Because there was a certain time we took each other for granted and we wasn't tilling our garden. The base root word of a husband is a husbandman. A husbandman, and the base root word of Adam is the tiller of the ground. He's a farmer. So a husbandman is a farmer. He's a tiller of the ground. He has to take care of his borders. So I wasn't weeding my garden, and the weeds were choking our marriage because we took each other for granted, and the weeds start taking over. And we let outside interferences take us over. That's the pearl of great price. It says, he who found something very valuable, he found it. Then he hid it in the ground, went away and sold everything he had. Then came back and fortified that land where he found that pearl. So where he found that valuable thing, where he found that pearl of great price, is where he fortified his land, is where he put a fence around his border, is where he says, I'm gonna build my house and I'm gonna dig my garden and I'm gonna plant my wine, I'm gonna plant my vineyard. So I can drink of my own vineyard. I can eat of my own vineyard. I can raise my own livestock in my own vineyard, in my own land. That's a husbandman. That's a farmer, a protector, a provider, a tiller of the ground. And my wife is a help me. She helps me till the ground. She helps me with my purpose. It doesn't work without her. There is no me without her. Without her, I die. Without her, my heart's not protected. The Lord took a rib from me in the garden and made her. But I was unprotected. So when he reunited us together, now my vital parts and my vital organs are protected again. He placed my rib right back by my side. Not behind me, not under my feet, but right next to my side. Right next to me. There's things that we don't agree with, but she's my rib and she's right by my side. And I protect her by doing the things that I'm supposed to. So without me, she has no place to be. She's just laying on the ground, just a rib that doesn't have a body. And without her, I'm a body that my heart is unprotected. There's times that she prays for me. When I'm at work, she prays for me. She says, baby, I just got off my knees and the Lord told me to keep going. And that's right when I want to slap the mess out of somebody and was ready to quit. But then I get that text. Baby, I know it's hot as a mug up in that shop. Keep pushing. She protects my heart. I come home and she puts a big kiss on and big lips right on my lips and kisses me. And that's the sweetest kiss I can ever have in my life. My granddaughter runs out to the car and hugs me. My mother-in-law, hey Darren, you ready to eat now? You ready for something? They protect me. They protect my heart. They protect my vital organs. So when we talk about marriage, we talk about marriage all wrong. It's about how much are you going to give yourself? The pearl of great price, that man sold everything he had, everything he owned. I gave up my former life. I gave up foreign women. I gave up going out all the time by myself. I gave up all my friends. I gave up wanting to watch TV all the time because now I have somebody I have to tend to. Now I have a garden to till. And we teach submission wrong. When it says submit, they never talk about the husband submitting to the wife. And my body's not my own and her body's not hers. They never talk about the husband has to give his life for his wife. They don't talk about that part. Husband, love your wife as the Lord loves the church. They never talk about that part. They always talk about, wives, submit to your husbands. And submitting is a position of authority. My wife can tear me down or build me up at the same time. With one word, she can tear me down. But with one word, she can build me up. See, the Samaritans, the reason why the Jews didn't like the Samaritans is because they had a muddy bloodline. And they held a dual bloodline and a dual nature. And when the Lord talked to the woman at the well, he reminded her who she was. He says, remember, the word Samaritan used to mean that you are a gatekeeper. You are a watcher on the wall. You are the one that warned people when somebody was about to attack your city. You was one of the most valuable Israelites ever. But you started to live with other nations, and then you lost your way. But the Lord reminded that woman, and then that woman went back and told the whole city who they were. And says, come and see a man. Come and listen to this brother that's telling us our heritage, telling us who we are. We're not half-breeds. We're not just a bunch of niggas. We're not just a bunch of drug dealers. We're not just a bunch of divorcees. We're not just a bunch of hoes. We're not just a bunch of baby daddies and baby mamas. That's not who we were. We were a royal nation and a royal priesthood, a peculiar people and a royal priesthood. This is the thing where we didn't understand who we were. And he brought them back to the beginning and says, no, you are watchers on the wall. When are we going to come back to being the gatekeepers of our community? When are we going to be that one? So I say these things, and I put that title up there for a reason. Don't tell me what to do. It says, because eventually the Spirit will guide you and lead you into all truth, where no man will be able, that can teach you. Not saying you were not taught by men, but a lot of times we are learned from the precepts of men. And we try to listen to everybody else and try to live our standards by everybody else. But you can see the way our neighborhoods are. The only thing we own is barbershops, hairdressers, maybe a couple food stores or something like that, and a bunch of churches. There's churches on every corner, but there's a liquor store right down the street from it on every corner. So why in 40 years we haven't changed our community yet? Is something wrong? Yes, there is. And somebody is scared to admit it. It's okay to admit we were wrong. I admitted that I was wrong the whole time. I was trying to preach a watered down gospel. I was trying to preach a word that I wouldn't step on anybody's toes. I was trying to preach a word that nobody was accountable to. You mad because that girl is digging in your pockets because you got baby mamas all over the place and now you got to pay child support. But if you didn't have your seed all over the place, you wouldn't be paying child support if you was responsible. And the lady is talking about all these deadbeat dads and deadbeat fathers and no good brothers and all this other stuff. But you picked that brother. Then you picked another brother. Then you picked another brother. So every brother you meet is bad? No. Maybe the brothers you meeting are bad. Maybe you attracting the negative brothers because you looking at superficial things. We looking at big booties, big breasts, muscles, abs, tattoos. If this man got a nice car and all this other stuff, what can you do for me? I am the table. What do you bring to the table? Is that asking the proper questions of what kind of wife you are? Are you ready to be a wife? It says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Then that man obtains favor from the Lord. Then he obtains favor. But is that woman in the right place to be found? Is she a wife already? Think about that. So not saying people don't make mistakes, but for you young ladies and our elderly, the older people, older brothers, older sisters, start telling these younger sisters to close their legs and stop giving a womb before they have a commitment from a man. Make that man be responsible. See, Steve Harvey gave you 3 months to don't give a man a cookie. But a man will have another side chick and can wait 3 months all day. I don't know how many side chicks I done had waiting to get some booty. I said, I'll wait that out all day long and play the card. I play the card all day. And then when she was ready to give it to me, I got it. And if it was what it was, I might hit it a couple times, and that was it. So is anybody telling the truth about this thing? Is anybody telling our women to be chaste? Hold on to your goodies. Hold on to your valuableness. But we give our most valuable possession, we give that up front. Your body is worth 3 months. Your seed is worth anybody. Come on, man. We got to do better. And then we always complaining. Or she tapping my pockets. Or I thought she was better than that. I never think she would do that to me. But you never asked the right questions. Oh, ain't no faithful men out here. Why does he have to be faithful and you gave that man a cow? You gave that man the milk before he purchased a cow. He getting free milk. He don't need to purchase a cow. You giving him glasses of milk all day long. So this man is never thirsty. He's getting all the nourishment he needs. We have to do better. But are we teaching our younger ones this? This is why one of the #1 songs out there is Pound Town and WAP and Glorilla. Yeah, I know you can have the sexual revolution. You can have your women's empowerment and sexual freedom. But where did it get us? On Section 8, on welfare. Our brothers are in jail because they can't pay their child support. Where's the values at? Not saying we haven't made mistakes when we were younger. We all have. It says all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But Ezekiel also taught, he says your fathers are the ones that put you in this position. And your sins go down from generation to generation. But what are you doing right now to repent? He says now you're being perpetual in your sin. Your father's not the one that's sleeping with the enemy. Your father's not the one that's sleeping with the Hittites. Your father's not the one that's bowing down to other gods. You are. This is the remnants of your father sleeping around with other gods. But now you took on the same thing. And you always knew who I was. Because I led you through the desert with a cloud by day and a pillar by night. You knew who the Almighty God was. But you still, God has never left us. We left God. And I believe we reject God is because we see the representation that everybody's giving out of who God is. All we see is pastors flourishing. They kids go to college. They kids got cars. Y'all living good. But you taking 10% from somebody that's on welfare? Okay. You still teaching this prosperity gospel? Name it and claim it? Speak it and believe it? Nah. I had to clean my credit up before I got a house. Before I had a car. I had to clean my credit up. That had nothing to do with speaking and naming it and claiming it. Because the creditor didn't say what God I serve. They said, brother, do you pay your bills? And my credit said no. So no, I'm not church bashing. No, I'm not preacher bashing. But can we do a lot better than what we're doing? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Do I believe we got to come out these church walls and do something? Oh, yeah. I always say start with one person. If you have the funds, take one person and put a brother through tech school so he can take care of his family. Right now in my business, in the auto body industry, you can make over $100,000. But there's not enough techs because some of the techs during COVID have died or they retired. They got out the business and now there's a shortage of techs. So now everybody needs techs, mechanics. But everybody looks down. Oh, he ain't no six-figure guy. But you looking down on the blue-collar six-figure guy because this brother got dirty fingernails. And he works hard for a living. But you don't look at him because he ain't got the Gucci belt on. That joker got on his mechanic clothes on with grease on them and grease stains. Start looking a different way. But we don't know that brother got a 401k. We don't know that brother got a savings account. But you judging on the outside, but not judging on his character. You never asked him because you looking at his outward appearance. You looking at his abs, or you looking at that he don't have abs. You looking at how straight his teeth ain't, that he got crooked teeth in his mouth. My woman straightened me up. I was always a pretty cool dresser, but my woman is the one that calmed me down. My woman is the one that calmed the savage beast within me. See, a lot of times lions don't always go out for the kill. Sometimes they just lay in the weeds and wait for their prey to walk past them and they pounce on them. Because it's too hot out there to be running around trying to grab these elks all over the place. And they lose their energy and then they die of starvation because they have no energy. Or another lion takes them over because they don't have the strength to defend themselves. Sometimes you have to wait for it to come. And then when the opportunity comes, you are prepared to jump on that opportunity. You are prepared. So am I looking at the fact that I'm just saying, don't tell me what to do? Yeah, in certain situations, don't tell me what to do. But in other things, we have to learn to listen to our elders. But if we look at the last 40 years, what have our elders taught us? What kind of situations are our elders in? We got grandparents that are 35 years old. We got grandparents that are 30 years old. Yeah, 30 years old grandparents. So, and I'm not saying people don't make mistakes, but we got to do better. We got to learn to do better. I'm about to get out this thing. My Mets lost tonight. I'm sweating. My neck was stiff today. Hopefully I'm a lot better when I get out this piece. It was hot. But also this word is hot too. Sometimes we got to tell the truth. Sometimes we got to tell the truth. Sometimes we just have to tell the truth and say, nah, baby, you was wrong. You picked some no good brothers to have babies by. And then you worried about their deadbeat dads. You knew there was a deadbeat dad when you laid down with them. But your lust overtook you. So you lie down with dogs, you get fleas. And now you're getting bit all over the place. You're getting bit up because you ain't had no flea repellent. And a lot of times we didn't have fathers that told our daughters that you were more valuable than what you were. Hold on to it. We didn't have fathers to tell our sons. We didn't have fathers to tell our sons to say, nah, bro, you more valuable than this. Nah, brother, go out there and mow that lawn. Nah, brother, go out there and take care and go wash my car. And you missed the spot. We too busy trying to be friends to our kids and not parents. There was times I had to jack my son up and jack my sons up and be like, look, bro, you wilding right now. Don't think, and you probably can't whoop my behind. But the fear that you have for me and the love that you have for me has you not swinging back on me. But I'm not going to have you talk back to me in my own house. If that's the case, there's the door, my brother. So these are the things that we got to get to. We got to be strong. Got to be strong. Yeah, baby, you got to get in the hot tub with me, baby. You feel good. But I love y'all. Stay strong. Keep pushing. Keep doing what you got to do. And when I say I love y'all, I love y'all. I love you enough to tell you the truth. Paul says, have I become your enemy because I told you the truth? Have I become your enemy because I'm exposing certain things that shouldn't be? We got to step up better. We got to step up a lot better. We have to do better. And a lot of people, one more thing, a lot of people get on me because they say all I do is post videos and post memes and don't do this. I don't post my accolades. I don't post my other things that I do. I don't post the effects that I have on the community. I don't post when I walk down Lake Ave or I walk down the streets of Newark or I walk down other avenues that they say, hey, what's up, Pastor? What's up, Minister? What's up, Rev? What's up, this? What's up, that? Because they remember when they were at their low point, we were there. I don't post that. I ain't got to post that. But stop trying to tell me that I need to fit into this square hole that I'm around. You ain't got to tell me that. Stop trying to tell me these things. See, nobody's there alone. And nobody's there in your struggle. Stop trying to tell people about somebody else and look at your own life a lot of times. You got mad skeletons in your closet and they fall out, you got a whole graveyard up in that piece. Don't let me pick the lock on your door and watch all these dead bones come out of your... You're going to have elephant bones. You're going to have men bones. You got dead men, women, animals, all kind of junk. falling out your closet. Creep around your own front door before you try to creep around mine. That old song be hitting different when you realize what we should be doing. Clean your own house and sweep it clean before you start popping off of somebody else. Take the log out of your eye before you try to take a splinter out of somebody else's. Because you don't see. So I love y'all. Y'all some good people. Spread the word. Start talking to our young ones about making better choices and being wise. Spread your wisdom. We are us older ones are older that we can spread the wisdom to the younger ones, that we see that pothole in the road, that we tried to warn them about, that they didn't listen and they blew their tire out. Start warning them harder. Say, nah, baby, pull over, cut the car off. I'm driving because you're not messing my car up. I tried to tell you, there's a pothole in that right lane and you still driving, you're not listening. Nah, take the keys from them. Nah, bro, you're not messing my car up. I'm not going to waste $350 trying to replace my suspension, my alignment, and a new tire because you didn't want to listen and you were hard-headed. Stop being friends to your kids and be parents. Our grandparents would slap the mess out of us. My grandmother kept me on punishment for a year because I talked back to her. Did I think it was unwarranted? Maybe. But I look back on it now, I never spoke another ill word to my grandmother ever again. We were living in her house when my parents got divorced. And she says, oh, no, you ain't going to talk back to me. Sit your behind on them steps. After you do your homework, you sit on the steps until it's time for bed. I couldn't wait for bed. But that taught me. It taught me a valuable lesson. My brother snagged me up when I talked back to my mom and said, that's one mother. You got one mother. Don't ever talk to your mother like that again. And we made mistakes as parents. We're not saying we're perfect parents. Nobody's ever saying that. But we are saying when we rectify the mistakes that we made, then it's our job to pass it on to the elder, to pass it on as elders. And yes, we got to have tact. Don't start kicking people's back in. Take them out to lunch and explain to them, hey, baby, let's go out for lunch. I got to talk to you for a second. Hey, baby, I know you just made this mistake. I know you just had this baby. I know you just got this girl pregnant. Yo, watch what you're doing. Is this girl going to be around? Is she a good mother? Who's her parents? Is this man a good brother? Does he have a steady job? Is he doing this? Does he have goals in his life? What we doing? What are we doing? So sometimes it takes tact and not always brute strength and try to pound it into somebody. So I love y'all. Be blessed. Take this as a lesson, and I hope we spread the word. You ain't got to tell them that I said it. Just tell them and saying, look, I gained a couple nuggets tonight. Maybe listen to this, or maybe let's go out for dinner and let's talk up a little bit. Start to renew these relationships. There's fences that I gotta mend. There's fences that I gotta mend in my life still. And I'm 53, I still gotta mend fences in my life. I still gotta mend them. So I'm not perfect. I'm preaching to myself. All right? So I love y'all. God bless. Shamba Bland. Hot Tub Chronicles, Season 3, Episode 4, signing out.